Walking into the wrong auto repair shop can cost you thousands of dollars in unnecessary repairs, misdiagnoses, and damage to your vehicle. But there are specific warning signs you can spot in the first 2 minutes that reveal whether a mechanic is trustworthy or trying to rip you off. According to the Federal Trade Commission, auto repair fraud costs American consumers over $30 billion annually, with the average victim losing about $500 per incident. The automotive repair industry has legitimate professionals, but it also has dishonest operators who use high-pressure tactics, fake diagnoses, and unnecessary services to maximize profit at your expense. The good news is that bad mechanics reveal themselves quickly if you know what to look for. Professional certifications, shop cleanliness, how they communicate, and their willingness to show you problems are immediate indicators of quality and honesty. Within 2 minutes of arriving at a shop or talking to a mechanic, you can identify red flags that should send you somewhere else. Keep watching, because I'm going to give you a specific checklist of things to observe and questions to ask that will help you identify dishonest mechanics before they touch your car, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in fraudulent repairs. Hey, if you like this kind of straight-to-the-point content with no BS, help me out here. Subscribe to the channel right now. It takes 2 seconds and guarantees you won't miss any tips that could save you some serious cash. Let me start with the visual indicators you can assess within seconds of arriving at an auto repair shop. First, and most important, look for ASE certification. ASE stands for Automotive Service Excellence, and it's the gold standard for mechanic certification in the United States. ASE certified technicians have passed rigorous testing and have documented work experience. Legitimate shops prominently display their ASE certifications, usually near the entrance or service counter. You'll see blue and white ASE signs showing how many certified technicians they employ and what specialties they hold. If you don't see any ASE certifications displayed, that's a red flag. While not every good mechanic is ASE certified, shops that invest in certification demonstrate commitment to professional standards. Ask directly if their mechanics are ASE certified and in what areas. A good shop will answer proudly. A bad shop will deflect or claim certifications don't matter. Second visual indicator is shop cleanliness and organization. Professional shops maintain clean, organized work areas. Tools are stored properly, floors are swept, and there's no excessive clutter or debris. This indicates attention to detail and pride in their work. A filthy, disorganized shop suggests sloppy work habits that will extend to your vehicle. Pay attention to how cars are handled. Are they protected with fender covers and floor mats? This shows respect for customer property. Third indicator is the waiting area and customer service area. Professional shops have clean waiting rooms with visible pricing information, service menus, and often customer testimonials or business accreditations like Better Business Bureau ratings. If the waiting area is dirty with no posted information about services or pricing, that's a warning sign. Fourth, observe how busy the shop is. A completely empty shop during business hours can indicate poor reputation, while a shop with multiple vehicles being serviced suggests customers trust them. However, be cautious of shops that seem chaotic or overwhelmed, as rushed work leads to mistakes. Fifth, check online reviews before you even arrive. Google reviews, Yelp, and specialized sites like RepairPal provide customer feedback. Look for patterns in reviews, not just overall ratings. If multiple reviews mention the same problems like overcharging, unnecessary work, or poor communication, believe them. A shop with mostly 5-star reviews and a few 1-star reviews from unreasonable customers is normal. A shop with consistent complaints about honesty or quality should be avoided. Now, let's talk about red flags and how mechanics communicate with you. This is where most bad mechanics reveal themselves immediately. First major red flag is refusing to provide a written estimate. Professional shops always provide detailed written estimates before performing work. The estimate should list specific parts, labor costs, and total price. If a mechanic says they need to start work before they can give you a price, or they only give verbal estimates, walk away immediately. This is how they inflate prices after the work is done. Second red flag is high-pressure tactics and urgency. Bad mechanics use fear to push you into immediate decisions. They'll say things like, "This is extremely dangerous. You can't drive this car for minor issues," or "If you don't fix this today, your engine will fail." While some problems are genuinely urgent, most repairs can wait for you to get a second opinion. A trustworthy mechanic explains the severity honestly, distinguishes between urgent safety issues and routine maintenance, and doesn't pressure you. Third red flag is refusing to show you the problem. When you bring your car in, a good mechanic will show you exactly what's wrong. They'll put the car on a lift, point to the worn brake pads, show you the leaking gasket, or demonstrate the failing component. They want you to understand and see the problem. A bad mechanic refuses to show you anything and insists you trust their diagnosis. Always ask to see the problem. If they won't show you, leave. Fourth red flag is vague explanations using excessive jargon. Bad mechanics hide behind technical language to confuse you. A good mechanic can explain any problem in simple terms a non-expert can understand. If you ask what's wrong and they give you a word salad of technical terms without actually explaining the issue, they're either incompetent or dishonest. Fifth red flag is dramatically different pricing from other shops. If you get multiple quotes and one shop is 50% higher or lower than the others, investigate why. Extremely high prices suggest overcharging. Extremely low prices might indicate they're using inferior parts, cutting corners, or planning to add charges later. Sixth red flag is pushing unnecessary services. This is extremely common. You come in for an oil change and suddenly they recommend $1,000 in additional services like transmission flush, fuel system cleaning, coolant flush, brake fluid flush, and more. Some of these might be legitimately due, but if they're pushing multiple expensive services every visit, regardless of your vehicle's actual condition or maintenance schedule, they're trying to upsell unnecessarily. Here's your 2-minute evaluation checklist you can use at any shop. When you arrive, immediately look for ASE certification displays. Present or clearly posted equals good sign. Absent equals question further. Observe shop cleanliness and organization. Clean and organized equals professional. Dirty and chaotic equals concern. Check if vehicles are protected with fender covers and floor mats. Protected equals respect for property. Not protected equals careless. Note the customer service area. Is pricing information visible? Are there business credentials displayed? Clear information equals transparency. No information equals suspicious. Ask these specific questions and observe the responses. Question 1. Are your mechanics ASE certified? Good answer. Yes, we have X certified technicians in these specialties. Bad answer. Certification doesn't really matter, or deflecting the question. Question 2. Can you provide a detailed written estimate before starting work? Good answer. Absolutely. We always provide written estimates. Bad answer. We need to diagnose it first, or we'll give you a call with the price. Question 3. Can you show me what's wrong with my car? Good answer. Of course, let me show you on the lift. Bad answer. You wouldn't understand, just trust us, or refusing to show you. Question 4. How urgent is this repair? Good answer. Honest assessment with explanation of what happens if you delay. Bad answer. Extreme urgency and fear tactics for non-critical issues. Question 5. Why do you recommend this service? Good answer. Specific explanation based on your vehicle's condition, mileage, or manufacturer schedule. Bad answer. Everyone needs this service, or vague answers. Watch for these immediate deal breakers that mean you should leave. Refusing written estimates. Using high-pressure fear tactics. Refusing to show you problems. Dramatically inconsistent pricing compared to other quotes. Pushing multiple expensive services every visit. No ASE certifications and defensive when asked about credentials. Extremely dirty or disorganized shop. Poor online reviews with consistent complaints about honesty. And let me give you real examples of how these red flags appear. Bad example. You bring your car in for brake noise. Mechanic says, your brake system is completely shot, rotors are warped, calipers are seizing, you need everything replaced. It'll be $1,200 and it's dangerous to drive. They won't show you the brakes, won't provide written estimate, and pressure you to authorize work immediately. This is classic fraud. Good example. You bring your car in for brake noise. Mechanic puts it on lift, shows you the brake pads are worn to 3 millimeters, shows the rotors have minor scoring but are within spec, explains that front pads need replacement now and rotors can be resurfaced, provides written estimate for $450, and says you can drive it but should do the work within the next week or two. This is professional service. The difference is transparency, honesty, and respect. One more critical point. Beware of shops that perform work without authorization. Legally, shops cannot perform repairs without your approval except in very limited circumstances. If you authorize an oil change and they call saying they did a bunch of additional work without asking, you're not obligated to pay for unauthorized services. Document everything. Get written estimates, save all paperwork, and if you suspect fraud, report it to your state attorney general's office and the Better Business Bureau. So here's the bottom line. You can identify a bad mechanic in less than 2 minutes by checking for ASE certifications, observing shop conditions, asking specific questions about estimates and transparency, and watching for high pressure tactics. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't let mechanics intimidate you with technical jargon or pressure tactics. A good mechanic wants educated customers who ask questions. A bad mechanic wants confused customers who blindly trust them. Use this checklist every time, and you'll avoid the dishonest operators who cost Americans billions in fraud every year.